Hello, folks. This is an installation video for this mod, SCAAR. Some of you are having trouble with getting the mod to 100% installation. You're struggling with finding where certain files need to go, certain details. Maybe the installation instructions are a little bit too much to ingest, so let me just show you what you need to do. It's actually really easy. There are just a few more steps involved compared to other mods, okay? But don't be scared, we're not doing anything crazy here. Just to clarify, this is for next gen, okay? Installation steps for 1.32, which is old gen, as well as next gen, okay? I just followed these instructions and it worked for me. We start by downloading the main file, which is SCAAR AIO Vengeance. Okay, we go up to Files, and here it is, SCAAR Vengeance main file, right? We download, and we donate, if we want to. We download back to Files. I need the compatibility patch for next gen. Right, there is a little bit of instruction here, but like I said, this video is just showing you the steps, so let's download this one too. Alright, I've got my two files. This is all I need. Now, I'm just going to go back to the installation steps. Extract the main archive, then copy bin, DLC, and mods, and paste them to your main Witcher 3 directory. Well, most of you will know where that is, so we're just going to go to our main directory. Here I am. This is my program files, GOG, games, Witcher 3. Here I am. I'm just going to change the view for you to see better. Alright, here we are. We are just adding files to the bin, to the DLC, and of course to the folder called mods. Now, it should be clear to all of you that when you first install the game, you don't have this folder called mods. You have to create the folder mods and then add the mod to there. But I'm sure all of you watching this video are familiar with this fact. Here I am. This is me. This is my mods. Alright. Let's get our files. I'm going to access my files through my Chrome. So I'm just going to open my main file. This is, just for clarity, this is the bit we downloaded here, right? This is what I've just opened. Okay, and when I come inside this folder, there is the folder bin, the DLC, and the mods. There's also one file here, input settings. And just to show you, in the installation steps, it says, right, it says, do not paste input settings text there. It's about opening it and copying the lines and pasting those lines at the top of your input settings, which I'll show you where that is. I'm just going to get my folders in first, okay? So here I am. This is my mods folder. I'm going to open the downloaded file, the inside folder mods, and I'm going to bring this folder into here, okay? Here it is. I've just added it, okay? That's my first step done. I'm going to come back to the main bit. My next folder to go in my game is the DLC, right? So I'm just going to open my main game DLC folder, and I'm going to open the downloaded file subfolder DLC, and I'm going to bring this DLC SCAAR Vengeance into the DLC main game folder. Here it is. I've just added it. Coming back, one more folder to add, right? Where are we? My bin needs to go over here. Now, according to the official instructions, you bring the bin like this and you paste it. Now, don't ask me why, I don't like to do that. What I like to do is come to this. Okay, this might need a bit more explanation. Look at this. Check this out. On the right hand side is the downloaded file, on the left hand side is my main game, right? Check this out. You open bin, You open bin on the right, and you see the same stuff. Config, right? Let's open them both. Right? You see R4 game, right? You can open that. You see user config matrix, right? PC. Okay, open them both. Okay, so what's the result? Well, on the left hand side in the main game folder, there's a lot of files, right? On the right hand side, this is actually important, guys, listen. On the right hand side, this is the downloaded file. We need to add those two files into the main game folder here. Right, let's do that. Let's paste them here. Okay, we've just added them. Now, some of you are wondering, what's the difference? What have you just done? Well, had I pasted the bin folder into the main game folder like this, it would have done exactly the same thing, right? But it's just nice to know what exactly you are doing with this. So it was config R4 game, use config matrix PC. It's nice to know what it is exactly that we've just done. It's basically we've just added those two files over here. That's what we've done. Alright. Here is a step a lot of you get confused about. Well, how do we get the menu to work inside the game once we boot up the game? Well, you need to tell the game that it needs to use this mod. You do that by opening these two, and let me just get the view better. You need to open DX12, really is what you need to open, but I like to do it on both DX11 and DX12. These are just two different versions of playing the same game. Okay, so we're just going to open this because it's a notepad. We're going to open this and look at this. The game already has been told to use these files, including 4 of which are mods. Don't ask me why there's Asian script here. Don't ask me that. I have no idea. But these are 4 mods which I've told the game it needs to use. I've got menus for them here, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the game now to use the SCAAR mod as well. So I'm just going to open a little bit of field here. Alright, and I'm going to tell the game it needs to use this file. Can you see it on the right hand side? I want the game to use this. So I'm just going to say that it needs to use mod SCAAR .xml. Don't forget this, and very important, don't forget the semicolon. Right? If you don't add the semicolon, it won't work. Just add it. Right? I've just told the game it needs to use this file that I've just given it in the folder. I'm going to close this and save. Do exactly the same thing here on DX12, which is probably the more important bit because this is how I open the game through DX12. Why? Because when I press play and I wait for the launcher to start. By the way, just for clarity, I'm not starting the game yet. The mod installation is not complete yet. Look at this, DirectX 12, or I can play DirectX 11 as well. Okay, that's why we've got 2 files, because we can play the game in 2 different versions. Right, like I said, the installation is not complete yet. DX12, open this, same exact thing, right? Open this little bit of space and tell the game to use this file. XML semicolon, don't forget the semicolon. Mod SCAAR.xml semicolon. Close, save. We've just told the game it needs this menu. We've just added that, right? So it's fine. That's done. Okay. What haven't we done yet? We haven't merged the files. I've got a lot of mods that need to be merged with what I've just added to the game. Let's do that. Do we still need this file? Yes, don't forget about the input settings. We haven't got to this step yet. Right. I'm just going to minimize this for a bit. Okay. I'm going to go over to my merger. Okay. I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with this. If you don't have this, you're not even halfway done. You need Witcher script merger. how to install this. I mean, there's enough videos on the internet, but I'm sure you know about this. Don't get scared about this left-hand side. This is this bit, just to tell you, this bit here on bundled text, that's stuff that was already there before I even installed my SCAAR mod just now, okay? So don't worry about this, it's like it's not even there. It's this bit that you will get. This is the bit that you will get. You will have a conflict between your SCAAR vengeance, sorry, the SCAAR mod, and whatever other mods you've got. This is the bit you need to merge. Okay, enough time spent on this. I think you get the picture. Thankfully for me, 12 conflicts, all of them automatically resolved, which is incredible. Just press OK. Which is incredible because I've got so many mods, as you can see on the right hand side, and they've all merged. Like I told you, on the left hand side, this doesn't matter right now. This is my brothers in arms conflicting, but this is bundled text. This is not even important right now. The game will run. Okay, I'm done with the merge. What is left? What is left? Let's go back to here. Well, we need to do the compatibility, remember? Where is that? Well, go back to your game. Here I am. This is my game, right? Games, Witcher. Here we are. Right, this is the bit I saw in the comment section. A lot of you got confused about. We need a compatibility patch to come into the mods, to come into the folder we've just brought in, the SCAAR mod. Okay. Well, here's what that looks like. Here's the second file we downloaded, right? The compatibility patch. Okay. Here's my compatibility patch. Right. The author has told you to cut the file from inside here, which is this folder, the scripts. You don't need to cut it. You can just do the same thing, just bring it over. But not here. It needs to come into the folder that we installed. So on the left hand side is my main file. This is the main file we've downloaded. On the right hand side is the compatibility. We need to come to the same folder, content, right? Content. Check this out. We need to replace the left hand side folder scripts with the compatibility right hand side scripts folder. This is all we're doing here. We're bringing the folder scripts over here, and we're saying yes to replace the files in the destination. Done. This is what that bit was. This bit cut the scripts folder from mod then inside this content folder where the scripts folder is located, right click and paste and choose to override when asked. This is what we've just done. Okay. Finally, before we start the game, we need the input settings text, right? Where was that? Well, back to the main file. This is the main file. Here is this file, input.settings. This bit on the right hand side, all of this needs to go into our input folder. This is how we tell the game to utilize the new controls. So when you use your, keyboard and mouse, or joystick, I guess, like we're telling the game, do use these, right? We need those. Okay. What does that look like? Well, you need to go to documents, right? This is your computer documents. Find the folder, The Witcher 3. You will have it there. It's there, it will be. Open that, and here you see input. I use this file a lot because I've got another mod where I add a lot of key bindings, right? Emote keys. So I'm familiar with this input. This is the file we've just opened here. So the author says to bring all of this at the very top of here. So the way that would look like is like this. you just copy it. Now, I don't like to do that. Why? Well, because it looks wrong. So what I do is I just find these sections. This combat bit and this exploration bit, these are sections. And the way you find them is you press Control F and you copy paste this down, find next. There it is. This is my section in the main file on the left hand side. All I'm going to do is I'm going to create some space under combat and I'm going to paste these two, copy and paste into here. This is what I've just pasted. And this will get reorganized, by the way. When I close this and I open it back up, these two will be somewhere else under the section combat. The file organizes itself. This is the logic used when the author says place them at the very top, okay? But like I said, I don't like to do that. I like to organize things for myself. So I'm just going to find my exploration bit. Here we copy, paste. Here we are. This is my exploration section. Create a little bit of space and add this thing. Add it. That's it. Mod is installed. Let's close this, save. Now, this we don't need. Close. This is my main file, archive, done. Close. This is my documents input folder, Witcher 3 folder. I don't need that, you know. Close. This is my compatibility patch folder. Close. We're done. That's it. All we need to do now is start our game. Let's do that. What we're going to do now is pray and hope that the game will read all of the files correctly, which it will, because we've just done it correctly. We've done everything right. And we're just going to wait for the game to compile the files, right? It's that scary part of the installation process where we're just going to look at that red square screen, that red square that's going to say compiling files. But the game will boot up and it will have the menu and all of the controls will be there. And I'm going to spend the rest of the video now explaining to you how to use those settings. Change my language. Inside the game now. Let's test the mod. Now, by default, you have the walking and running animation changed to the SCAAR animations. You cannot go back to vanilla with this mod, which is the reason why I don't use it. This is just a demonstration purpose. But immediately walking and running, you can see it's different. The mod is already working, and you can see this smooth transition between running and walking. And then, of course, sprinting. Okay, let's test the dodges. So, if I go to the options, I can choose a preset. Most people prefer combined forces. This is the one I see on YouTube videos the most. So you can press this and be done. Everything is preset for you. And you can go back to the game and start enjoying it. Let's do a short dodge demonstration. That's it. if I change the setting to revolve and do another shot dodge demonstration, slightly different. Okay, let's do a long dodge. Look at that. That's him doing this instead of rolling forward. But let's say I prefer him rolling forward. I can tweak that by keeping the revolve setting, but changing the long dodge animation to vanilla. There we go. Now, what do version 1, 2, and 3 do? Well, it's about holding the sword with either one hand or two hands. Version 1 is always one hand. Version 2 is switching between one hand and two hands, and version 3 is always two hands. This is when Geralt is moving, because you can also change whether Geralt is holding the sword with one hand or two hands when he's idle, when he's not moving. So let's say you never want to hold the sword with two hands, then you would choose one-handed when idle, and you would choose version 1. But, you know, in the opposite scenario, you want him to hold the sword with two hands always, you would choose version 3, and you would choose two-handed. And to demonstrate this, I'll have to spawn an enemy. Alright, here's a little siren. Look at him. He's always holding the sword with two hands when he's moving. When he's moving and when he's still. Version 1 with one-handed would be him always keeping relaxed like this. Okay. And then for the voice taunts, well, they're on now. It's me holding left control for Geralt to start taunting.
What now, you piece of filth? Come on, giving me no choice. Show me what you got. Well, how long you gonna make me come closer?
Okay. And that's it for the tutorial. Everything else is up to you to discover. If you ask me, combine forces with voice taunt off. Probably version 1. I don't want him to hold the sword with two hands. And then long dodges, I would keep the vanilla. But this revolve one is yeah, quite intense, isn't it? As a long dodge. There you go. It just activated.